Alright, this is going to be the comprehensive Aztec glass door tutorial. I'm going to go ahead and cover everything I know about getting the glass door open, and it's going to be multiple different strategies. It's going to include anything used on agent, 00 agent, secret agent, and I'm also going to include just a small snippet for dark LTK. Alright, so I'm going to start with 00 agent, and the run you're going to see here is Brian Bosshart, Aztec 00 Agent 143. We're not going to watch the whole run, I'm just going to go over the lure, obviously, and getting the door open. Let me take the text off. There we go. Alright, so for 00 Agent, you're most likely always going to want to kill this mainframe guard, no matter what strat you're using. And if you want to use safe strats, you're going to kill the guard. And by safe strats, I mean like anything in the 140 range, anything from 140 to 149. You're going to kill this guard, and you're going to kill this guard. And by doing this, you're going to make noise when you're shooting the gun, and you want to shoot at least 6 to 9 bullets while you're running down this hallway. And what that's going to do is that's going to lure out the 2 guards from the exhaust bay. Sometimes you don't lure out both of the guards, and the reason for that is either you didn't shoot enough bullets, or you weren't far enough down the hallway while you're in noise radius. Like, you have a noise radius, and the farther you go down the hallway, the smaller your noise radius needs to be. So if you've shot more, then you don't need to be as far. I hope that makes sense. So you let this guard see you, and he can do about 3 different things. He can either crouch, which will be the most delay, and it'll take him the longest to move from his position. He'll crouch and shoot at you, or he'll do a standing shooting animation where he just lifts his gun, and that's very fast. And on rare occasions, he'll just run. Like, he'll run out of his position, and that's usually bad. So you can see there, I'm not sure if you saw it, but he's doing the crouching animation, and you'll be able to hear him shoot as well. So when he stops shooting, he runs out, and he'll be the first guard you see here. But I'm just gonna click back here. You don't get to see much, it's very brief. One guard appears, and then as soon as the second guard appears, that's when Boss goes to the glass. And he's doing this because he wants both of the guards to see him going to the glass. This isn't necessary, but this is what older strats do, and it's more consistent. And this is like the RTA strategy, basically. So you want to hear specifically at least 2 different firing animations. So you want to listen very closely for both of those, and you want to go to the glass and wait at the glass. And Boss is pausing here. A lot of people like to pause at the glass. It's not something that I recommend, but it can be useful if you're doing this strat. So you want to wait at the glass until those firing animations have stopped, and you want to wait a little bit of extra time, because if they did crouching animations, they have to stand up. And then as soon as the guards start moving, they copy Bond's position, and by copy, that means like they just take it into their memory and they move to it. And then one special thing about that is after they reach that copied position, if they've spent more than 10 seconds moving to that position, they'll stop there and they won't move again. But if it was less than 10 seconds, they'll move again and they'll find Bond's next position. So that can be relevant, but it's not relevant in this situation, because when the two guards see boss when he's going to the glass. 10 seconds doesn't pass by the time they get to the glass, so they continue to move. If 10 seconds does pass, and then they won't continue to move, and then the glass door just does not open because they have no way of continuing movement. They have no way to open it. Another thing to note is when standing at the glass, you don't want to move at all. You want to stand completely still, and that's one reason why pausing here is good, because obviously you can't move. And the reason for this is because you want the guards' positions that they copy to be the same. You want both of the guards to have the same position that they go to. And the reason for this is because in order to get the door open, one guard has to be standing right next to the glass, and then the other guard is attempting to reach the same position, but instead, since the first guard is in the way, he starts running around. And if the guard's close to the glass, then the second guard will run around a circle, and the path for that circle will go through the glass, and that's what causes the door to be opened. Okay, so glass door opens, and here's 3 guards. So the thing about this is when you see the 3 guards, you might wonder, when he went to the glass, you only saw the 2 guards at the end of the hallway that saw him, but the 3rd guard that was coming from the vents didn't actually see him, but he reached the point that he was originally going to, and 10 seconds had not passed. So without even seeing Bond, that guard continued onto Bond's next position, which was at the glass. So you'll notice that all 3 of these guards are very close to the glass, and if any more time had passed while Boss was waiting behind the wall, all these guards' positions would have changed drastically, because they would be moving as soon as the glass opens. They're going to continue moving. But if you reveal yourself, then they're just going to turn around and they're going to see you. So that's what happens here. They all crouch, synchronized crouching. Alright, so that's the old fast strat, basically, for low 140s. Now I'm going to quickly show my 149 on 00 Agent, and this takes a little different idea. So again, killing both of these guards, and luring the exhaust bay and that corner guard. And then I take out the PP7, and the reason for this is because I want to delay the first guard just a slight amount. So you'll see the first guard comes here, and this is just a consistency thing that I wanted to implement into my own runs, because I was really sick of Aztec 00 Agent. So I shoot the one guard, and I hope to get this reaction where he just gets stunned for like half a second or less, and then by that time the other 2 guards have come around the corner, and they can all see me while I go to the glass. And then another common thing, if you're not going to do a full pause here, is to quick pause, but you want to make sure that you don't move until those guards have started moving behind the mainframe and copy your position. Alright, so that's the 149. So that's the 00 Agent strat. The slower 00 Agent strat, I guess the old 00 Agent strat. So now what I want to cover is what's known as the Henrik strategy. So for this, I'm going to use my 126 on Agent. So for this strategy, you want to kill this guard when you're going across the mainframe. And also for this strategy, you stop shooting as soon as you kill that guard. You don't want to make any more noise. You don't want to lure the exhaust bay guards. Doing that will screw up the run. You want this guard to see you, and he can do one of three things, just like the other guard at the far corner. He can either crouch, do a standing animation, or he can just straight run out of his spot. Obviously, like I said before, it's really rare that they just run out of their spot, but it's the worst thing that can happen, and it basically ruins the run. So what he does here is he crouches, and that's pretty good. You want him to not take a long time to shoot, though. You want him to get up from his crouch. And then what I do here is I quickly, and emphasis on quick, you have to be very quick when doing this. Quickly go to this part of the wall or whatever it is and pivot, and when doing this you let the guard at the corner see you, and you're hoping that he does a crouching animation, a crouching shot, and as soon as he's like, you have to leave before you even think that he sees you. Like, just leave right away and hit this button and then get to the glass as fast as you can. And you have to get there before the far guard's animation is finished, before he starts moving. And now this guard by the mainframe will hopefully have finished his animation, and he'll start shooting at you again when he sees you go to the glass. And that's what happens here. He just barely finishes his animation. I press the button, and now you can hear him start shooting. He fires a couple of bursts. I do a couple of quick pauses. I wait another brief moment, and then I leave with pretty much perfect timing. That door is like literally frames away from being too low, and I almost get spotted. But not like, the later you leave from the glass, the better chance you have, as long as the guards don't see you. Alright. Alright, and now for the fastest strategy. This video is Isa Smith's Aztec Agent 124. And this is colloquially known as the fast glass strategy. Some people call it Clement's strat because he's pretty much the first to use it. Untied 126. It's a really large agent cut. So you want to run past that guard by the mainframe. You don't kill either of these guards, basically. You just have him do a crouching animation. Almost all the time you're going to get a back boost, and that's totally fine. You just want to be sure that that guard in front of the mainframe doesn't see you before you get behind here. You want to look down, and this is going to cause the guard to basically warp, get there quicker. And the timing is very important here. You basically just have to get a feel for it, guess when to leave, just hope. And I missed pressing pause. Okay. So now the guard on the left is doing a crouching animation, and the guard on the right is getting up from his crouching animation. So what's going to happen is the guard on the left is going to do a long animation, and the guard on the right is going to, you can't see it happen, but he's going to also animate. Actually, no, I'm mistaken. The guard on the right there, in the, like, behind the mainframe, he's not animating. He's actually moving out of his spot. And what that means is he's going to be the one that reopens the mainframe. And then right before leaving the glass here, the guard that was crouching has just finished his shooting and started getting up. So now both of the guards have copied the position at the glass. Alright, now the last thing I want to just go over quickly is the injury animations and how they work and how it's used on Dark LTK. So this is my Dark LTK 630 that I just recently got. I'm luring the exhaust bay guards, I'm luring the corner guard. And then I had a lot of deaths when I was doing this lure here. One thing that I found out was if you just back up and let the mainframe go up, you can have the guards like still see you but not be able to shoot you while the mainframe goes up. And that's pretty much what you want to happen for DLTK. You can also shoot the guards, and what that does is it'll stun them, and then obviously they won't be able to hit you, and then as soon as their injury animation is over, which on Dark LTK is almost instantly, as soon as they start moving again, that's when they copy the position. So you want to get, like, on Dark LTK, most of the time you get a really, really fast injury animation. So if you shoot them and then go to the glass, a lot of times that's not going to work because they'll have started moving too quickly and you won't have gotten all the way to the glass yet. So as you can see, the only thing that I did was to shoot them basically to sync up their positions, because that's another thing that's kind of important, is you want them to be all close together. Usually the mainframe helps with this, and they kind of gather at the mainframe before going to the glass, so this is never really a problem. But I didn't shoot when going to the glass. I used to do that, but if I had done that, they would copy the position here rather than here, which is, it may only be a small distance, but it's a huge difference, because the guards copy the exact position no matter what, and it's constant. Alright, there's really not much else to say now that I think about it. I wanted to cover one small thing. I mentioned this earlier. When you're going over this mainframe, you can either miss this guard, have him like somehow dodge your bullets, or you don't kill him for whatever reason. Sometimes he'll be alerted by a stray bullet when you're killing the previous guard, and what happens is if he doesn't die and you go past him, what happens is he'll just go out and stand on the mainframe, and that's really not what you want. Um, Most of the time, he'll just hit you, back boost you, delay you, and it'll screw up your timing for the glass lure. Boss handles it quite well here, though, by luring the far guard and quickly using the wall there, killing the guard. And what's important is the guard dies and fades out really quickly, because if he has a long death animation, then the door just won't close, and that's one reason why this kills a lot of runs.